Vice President of India and Chancellor of Pondicherry University. I also welcome the guest of honor, Dr. Tamilisai Soundararajan, Honorable Lieutenant Governor of Puducherry and Chief Rector of our university, Shri.M. Rangaswamy, Honorable Chief Minister of Puducherry, Shri Emblem Selvam, Honorable Speaker, and all others who are here. Shri P.M.L. Kalyan Sundaram, Member of Legislative Assembly from this Kalapet constituency. All other members of the administration and police officers, as well as members of the executive, and then our own dignitaries here, the directors, deans, HODs, faculty members, officers, members of the staff, students, media persons, ladies and gentlemen, and our special welcome to those who made this possible, the company called AMP Energy Distribution Generation Private Limited Company, which completed this project. As I said, it's a matter of great pride for all of us that our chief guest, Vice President of the country, is here to inaugurate this important event, that is solar energy power plant. During one of his earlier visits here, which I very vividly remember, he said, perform, reform and transform. And that's the clue which our faculty had taken in all seriousness, and they applied for research projects in all their fields, which was sanctioned. And this has led to our university gaining 8th position in the NIRF ranking, which was announced a few days back. I also remember that our Vice President highlighting the importance of our mother tongue, the importance of our heritage, the importance of our culture, the importance of our food, because people are diverting to the so-called junk food like pizzas and other things. But he highlighted this, which was taken in all seriousness by our faculty, and they have embarked on the right path following all these. This has led to a great amount of cohesion amongst our members, and they are performing exceedingly well in all areas of the university, which has enabled us to move up the higher ranking. I also extend a very warm and a special welcome to our Corona warrior force, led by our Director of JIPMER, Dr. Rakesh Agarwal. They did a grand work for our city of Pondicherry. Our Lieutenant Governor, Dr. Tamilisai Soundararajan, also was kind enough to grant us permission to set up a special COVID ward, special COVID center in our university. When the local MLA, Mr. Kalyan Sundaram, came up with this idea that they want to set up a COVID center in the university to serve the people of Pondicherry, I immediately agreed, and I said, yes, it can be done. And when I requested our Honorable Governor, within half an hour, all our approvals were granted, and we could set up this to face this unfortunate pandemic in the best possible traditions. That is still there to counter any exigency that may arise in the months and days to come. I feel very happy to welcome all the dignitaries here to this important occasion of inauguration of this 2.4 megawatt solar power plant, which is one of the largest if you compare it with all the central universities. And I am of the opinion, and you'll all agree with me, that solar energy is one which we need to harness for the benefit of our public. We have solar energy in abundance, and when I joined this university, I realized we have a very big, lush green campus with ample sunlight. So I immediately approached the Minister, Dr. Rajkumar Singh, who was kind enough to immediately carry out a survey and sanction this project, which we are now inaugurating. Our Vice President had highlighted the importance of solar energy yesterday also, and I am also of the same view that this should be benefited from largely by everybody, gives you free vitamin D, destroys pathogens in the body, and costs nothing. The importance of this, you can take it from Europeans who die to get this kind of solar power, this energy, which we have in abundance. So I'm so very grateful to you, sir, for taking your time out to inaugurate this solar power plant, which I'm sure is going to be of a great benefit to all our university staff, students and everybody. And the surplus power that we will be having shall be given to Pondicherry city, which will make best use of this for the public of Pondicherry. Thank you so very much, sir, and we are grateful to everybody.
புதுச்சேரி பல்கலைக்கழகத்தினுடைய துணைவேந்தர் அவர்களே மற்றும் பேராசிரியர் பெருமக்களே, எனது இனிய நண்பர்களே, தொகுதியின் சட்டமன்ற உறுப்பினர்களே, உங்கள் அனைவருக்கும் என்னுடைய நன்றி கலந்த வணக்கத்தை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். சோலார் பவர் பிளான்ட் 2.4 மெகாவாட், அந்த திட்டத்தை தொடங்கி வைப்பதில் நம்முடைய மாண்புமிகு இந்திய குடியரசு துணைத் தலைவர்கள் இங்கே வந்திருப்பது ஒரு மகிழ்ச்சிக்குரியதாகும். அவங்க நேற்று கூட சொன்னாங்க, இந்த பவர் பிளான்ட் தொடங்கும் பொழுது ஜிப்மர் தொடங்கியிருந்தாங்க. ஒரு சிறிய விழாவாக இருந்தாலும் இது ஒரு எடுத்துக்காட்டாக இருக்கணும் மற்றவங்களுக்கு அப்படின்னு சொன்னாங்க. நீங்கள் கூட பார்க்கலாம், நமக்கு மின் தேவை அதிகம் இருக்குது. சூரிய ஒளியை கொண்டு நம்ம மின் தேவை எப்படி பூர்த்தி செய்வது என்ற நிலையில் இது மற்றவர்களுக்கு ஒரு எடுத்துக்காட்டாக இருக்கணும் அப்படின்னு சொன்னாங்க. இங்கே நம்முடைய பல்கலைக்கழக துணைவேந்தர் சொல்லும் பொழுது, இந்த பல்கலைக்கழகத்துக்கு தேவையான மின் தேவையை பூர்த்தி செய்து அரசுக்கு நாங்கள் கொடுக்குறோம் அப்படின்னு சொன்னார். இது புதுச்சேரியிலே ஒரு பெரிய 2.4 மெகாவாட் மின் உற்பத்தி செய்து கொடுக்குறாங்கன்னா உங்களுக்கு பெரிய பாராட்டுக்குரிய ஒன்று. நேற்று இன்று இந்த இரண்டுமே அங்கே 1.4 மெகாவாட் ஜிப்மரில், இங்கே 2.4 மெகாவாட் மின் உற்பத்தி இங்கே உற்பத்தி செய்து தங்களுடைய தேவையை பூர்த்தி செய்திருக்காங்க. பாராட்டுக்குரிய ஒன்று. இதே போன்று அரசு கட்டிடங்கள், காலியாக உள்ள இடங்கள், இதெல்லாம் அதாவது நம்ம எவ்வாறு எல்லாம் மின் உற்பத்தி செய்வதற்கு அந்த முறையை அமைத்து பயன்படுத்திக் கொள்ள வேண்டுமோ அதை பயன்படுத்திக் கொள்ள வேண்டும். இது ஒரு மக்களுக்கு ஒரு எடுத்துக்காட்டு. இதன் மூலமாக பயனுள்ள வகையில் தங்களுடைய இல்லங்களிலும் சரி, அரசு கட்டிடங்களும் சரி, மின் உற்பத்தியை பெருக்குவதில் நாம் மிகுந்த அக்கறை எடுத்துக்கொள்ள வேண்டும், கவனம் செலுத்த வேண்டும் என்று கேட்டுக்கொண்டு இந்த விழாவிற்கு வருகின்ற நம்முடைய மாண்புமிகு இந்திய குடியரசு துணைத் தலைவர்களுக்கு என்னுடைய மனமார்ந்த நன்றியை கூறி வாழ்த்து விடைபெறுகின்றேன். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
Hon'ble Vice President Shri.M.Venkaiah Naidu ji, respected Hon'ble Chief Minister Sri Rangasamy, respected Speaker, respected Vice Chancellor Professor Gurmeet Singh, respected Member of Legislative Assembly of this constituency Kalyansundaram, and respected Chief Secretary and respected Director Jipmer, respected staff, students, media and all the dignitaries of the dais. First of all, I thank the Pondicherry University for sharing the space to organize the Corona Isolation Center. So I take this opportunity not only to congratulate you for the solar power plant, but also to convey my thanks and gratitude for offering your place to organize a Corona Isolation Center. And I am very happy when during that inauguration I told this university has offered its prestigious space for us. But I want all the cots should be empty. It should not be filled. Unfortunately, they were empty only. So it's an auspicious occasion. I want to mention that. So like that, we have to be off Corona. And I should mention here our Honorable Vice President Venkaiah ji always encourages and appreciate the good things which you do. Particularly the solar power, as he said yesterday also, this solar power plant which is organized by this university, it is, as it is said by the Vice Chancellor, is one of the largest unit in the university campus. And I want to mention here, the Telangana Raj Bhavan is totally with solar power. The quarters of 400 people and whole Raj Bhavan, the Darbar Hall, has the electric power has the power from the solar power. So like I was fascinated when I went to Gujarat some 15 years back, 20 years back when I was a postgraduate in gynecology. I was excited to see a ATM center functioning with solar power. That was the development soared in our country. So that is the dream of our Honorable Prime Minister. He always says that the renewable clean energy is the need of the hour. And he stated that the world must turn to the sun to power our future. So this university is also marching towards that. And I also thank the university. It's not a surprise that the university has utilized the solar power for energy. This university joined us in serving the water, rainwater, that is to catch the rain. So this university is also serving in that manner to protect the nature, to save the energy, to save the sunlight, to save the rainwater. And I congratulate you all for this great, efficient performance. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Now we come to the most awaited moment. Shri.M.Venkaiah Naidu to inaugurate the solar power plant through remote control. Thank you, sir, for inaugurating another milestone in the history of our university. We will now have a short video presentation on the
Pondicherry University, established by an Act of Parliament in 1985, is located in a lush green campus extending over 780 acres of land on East Coast Road. The campus houses about 15 schools, 50 departments and centers. There are over 8,000 students, 350 faculty members, and more than 1,000 administrative staff on campus. From the inception of the university, manifold developments were witnessed on various fronts. And now, Pondicherry University is ranked among the top 22 universities in India and among the top 1,000 universities in the world. All these were realized through implementation of up-to-date curriculum and timely development of infrastructural projects to support teaching and research. From day one of assuming office, the Vice-Chancellor has shown keen interest in the use of non-conventional energy sources, conserving energy by switching over from conventional to energy-efficient LED lighting. On the direction of the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Gurmeet Singh, a 2.4 megawatt solar power project was implemented during March 2021 with no financial commitment on the part of the university. on the RESCO model recommended by the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy and Ministry of Education, Government of India.
Well, friends, when I joined this university, I realized that we have a lush green campus with enormous amount of sunshine. I immediately thought that why can't this be harnessed for the use of university as well as for the city of Pondicherry. So I immediately approached Mr. Rajkumar Singh, who was the Minister of New and Renewable Energy Sources. He was kind enough to accept this proposal and immediately sanctioned this project, which ultimately would generate 2.4 megawatts of energy. I think Pondicherrians are going to be richly benefiting out of this, and there is no doubt in my mind that our university is in for a very good, cleaner source of energy, which will help the campus in becoming cleaner as well as greener.
Rooftop solar plants have been successfully installed in 15 buildings. Science Block 1, 97.2 kilowatts. Department of Physics, 93.8 kilowatts. Department of Earth Sciences, 93.8 kilowatts. Science Block 2, 46.9 kilowatts. Department of Biotechnology, 53.6 kilowatts. Lecture Hall Complex 2, 40.2 kilowatts. School of Management, 109.9 kilowatts. Ananda Rangapillai Library, 71 kilowatts. School of Social Sciences, 136.7 kilowatts. School of Humanities, 128.6 kilowatts. Shri.M.Venkaiah Hostel, 60.3 kilowatts. Mega Mess attached to the boys' hostel, 73.7 kilowatts. Department of Electronic Media and Mass Communication, 97.2 kilowatts. Madam Curie Research Scholars Hostel, 73.7 kilowatts. Narmada Hostel, 46.9 kilowatts. The elevated rooftop structures on the car porch in 2 locations in the Department of Electronic Media and Mass Communication and UMISARC. Ground-mounted solar plants were set up in 2 locations. Humanities Building backyard has an installed capacity of 710 kilowatts and another 174.2 kilowatts in the vicinity of the Tamil department. Pondicherry University, as an environmentally responsible institute of higher education, has become greener and cleaner as a result of this 2.4 megawatt solar power project.
ஆளுநர் டாக்டர் தமிழிசை சவுந்தரராஜன் அவர்களே, மரியாதைக்குரிய புதுச்சேரி முதலமைச்சர் திரு என் ரங்கசுவாமி அவர்களே, புதுச்சேரி சட்டமன்ற சபாநாயகர் திரு எம்பலம் ஆர் செல்வம் அவர்களே, கலாப்பேட் சட்டமன்ற உறுப்பினர் திரு PML கல்யாணசுந்தரம் அவர்களே, பாண்டிச்சேரி பல்கலைக்கழகம் துணைவேந்தர் ப்ரொஃபஸர் குர்மீத் சிங் அவர்களே, பாண்டிச்சேரி பல்கலைக்கழகம் டைரக்டர் ஆஃப் ஸ்டடீஸ் டாக்டர் S. பாலகிருஷ்ணன் அவர்களே, அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். Friends, I am very happy to be here in this university to inaugurate the solar power plant, which is one of the largest solar power plants in the universities across the country. This university has made tremendous progress, and it has become an excellent center for research and innovation, and this addition of solar power is another feather in the university's cap. The recent IPCC report on climate change gives us a dire warning of global temperature rising, exceeding 1.5 global temperature, 1.5 degrees of Celsius. Climatic change is not a futuristic phenomena, and we are already experiencing it. The next few years are going to be very crucial for our collective action to mitigate climate change. So the green energies such as solar, wind and small hydro offer a viable alternative to meet our growing energy needs while also being sustainable in the long run. In particular, solar energy has shown the most promise in the recent years. As you are aware, I inaugurated another solar power plant yesterday in the Jawaharlal Nehru Postgraduate Medical Sciences campus yesterday. This preference for solar plants and solar energy among institutions and people is very good and a welcome sign. I have been saying, and I call upon all education institutions to go for solar and also to have rainwater harvesting and also to focus on clean and green. This is very much required. The country's solar potential is about 748 gigawatts, assuming 3% of the wasteland area to be covered by solar PV modules. This is a great opportunity waiting to be explored to provide reliable electricity to our remote areas, to reduce carbon emissions and to achieve energy security. So as a result of sustained efforts by the Government of India, led by the Prime Minister Narendra Bhai Modi, India has now more than 40 gigawatts of installed solar capacity. Today we are ranked 5th globally in solar power capacity and fast becoming global leaders in energy transition. It's an energy transition. We are also well placed to meet our committed renewable energy targets at the Paris Climate Conference by 2030. My dear brothers and sisters, these figures show positive aspects of solar power in India. But there are some structural issues that are hindering our growth in this sector. The biggest is the shortage of domestically manufactured solar cells and solar modules. We still heavily rely on imported solar components which are being used by Indian companies to make panels. We need to reduce this dependency and achieve Atmanirbhar in solar modules and solar cells. We have to quickly ramp up production by easing the setting up of manufacturing plants, publicizing the subsidy programs by the Government of India, and encouraging small players. States particularly must take an active lead in this regard because they are in the field. Another bottleneck in our exponential growth of solar and renewable energy sources is the lack of trained workforce. We need to train them. The polytechnic, the engineering colleges should also focus on this. We have a great potential in this country. We must invest in training workforce. The latest technologies in this renewable sector. The scheme of Surya Mitra is one good initiative. Universities such as yours must also take up research work and projects which have a component of renewable energy. My advice to education institutions is encourage students to take up final year projects and internship in the field of renewable energy and in material sciences. This will not only improve their employment aspects, but will also help in promoting innovation and improvements in our domestic solar industry. Finally, I would like to highlight the importance of innovation in the solar sector. As the tariff rates come down and the efficiency of the module increases, we need to also think of alternative avenues to install ground-mounted PV systems. One good option is to float a solar plant on water. For instance, NTPC is on course to commission India's biggest floating solar power plant of 100 megawatts capacity at Ramagundam in Telangana. This model has other advantages such as conservation of water through reduction of evaporation. Such projects can be replicated elsewhere. Similarly, rooftop mounted solar is a feasible and sustainable option that needs to be encouraged. I would like to compliment the Vice Chancellor and the other people who are responsible for this setting up of this plant, and I appeal to the student community to focus on innovation, come out with the new innovations. We have a vast potential in various sectors. And we are fortunate that 65% of our country's population is below 35 years. 50% is below 25 years. So such a youthful nation with adequate knowledge, if the skills are identified and adequately upgraded, encouraged, the country can not only provide skill to the countries, but also can export the skill across the globe. Keep this in mind. Focus your attention on this. Once again, I would like to compliment each one of you for this initiative. I'm happy again to visit this Pondicherry Central University, of which I am the Chancellor, and I wish all the students and staff a very bright future. Nandri, Vanakkam.